Okay, Brandon. So just gonna make some comments, get into a little more detail here. I posted video of you, made some comparisons, didn't make any comments yet. So let me know if you have any questions. Okay, so going into your lift, in one of your other videos, I drew this line. Okay, so decent shift. We could just have a tiny bit more. Talking like an inch. Okay, and particularly right here. Okay, so as you get going down out of it, I should see more of a shift. Okay, so okay into your leg kick, but you can just see by the time this happens, you haven't really gone anywhere. So your butt has gone, but your head needs to move. Okay, so it's good that you're leading with your hips. The fact that your butt is first, we just need our head to go, else we're not really going anywhere. Okay, so talked a lot about moving. That's where it needs to start. Okay, I'm just going to talk a little bit more positions now. Okay, focus on the right here. Okay, so when you go into your lift, head is on this line. We should stay on this line unless you are a guy that purposely throws sidearm. It's not it's not advantageous to be going inside this line with your head. Okay, your right leg is okay up to this point. But this is where you start compromising it. That right heel pops up a little bit soon, and then your head comes back to it. So your body wants to be on this line anyway. So that lean forward doesn't help you. So for you, we talked about keeping that heel down. It might feel like your right hip and right shoulder go that way when you do this the right way. Okay, last thing is this. I like your upper half patterns. Like the timing of that is really good. You'll notice in the Chapman video, the things that I kind of arrowed and circled. Excuse me. He's just a little bit more turned away than you, and has a little bit better direction, where he's not tipping in like this. So he's turned away, moving on that line a little bit better than you. Okay, so this is where you put your foot down. Notice that there is flexion here, here, and here still. So you really get out of this right there. So we want that move to happen where your back hip drives before you come in contact with the ground. So I prefer extension of your right leg, more of a push rather than a rotate. But at the end of the day, 80% of velocity can be attributed to your ability to rotate your hips ahead of your shoulders. Okay, so I pointed this out in your other video too. When you get down, your chest and upper half look very similar to Chapman, but he just has way more hip turn than you do. And part of that is you will never have Aroldis Chapman hip and shoulder separation because he's a freak and does it better than anybody else, but we still want to mimic the timing of the movements. So you're putting your foot down and then driving your backside through, where you want to do that before your front foot comes down. So if you start getting moving, notice you're also connected to the rubber too. Once his foot comes down, he is not connected to the rubber. Once you start moving earlier in your lift and getting your back leg and back hip to push, drive, turn, however you want to think about it, before your front foot hits the ground, you probably won't be as connected to the rubber at foot strike. So last thing is I kind of circled your knee. What I was looking at was stabilization. So when I zoom in and I just watch when it stops moving, I'm looking at somewhere right around there. There, I see it stop moving. Okay, so when we see Chapman stop moving, when his front leg stabilizes and quits moving, we see his arm back here. Okay, so the fact that you've turned already, that's really where you're throwing from. So this is where I really see your arm lay back and then snap forward. So when we look at what affects this, it's going to be moving forward using that back leg. So I see similarities in movements. Drive leg positioning is pretty good. There's a lot of good qualities to how you move, and a lot of it will be improved by simply learning how to move better early in your kick and using your right leg. So hopefully I'm making myself clear. Hopefully you are seeing some differences and similarities. And if you have any questions, please feel free to let me know.